today we do talk about multiplying them. Multiplying decimal numbers. What happens if you have this? 0.3 times 4. The first thing, make sure you understand this. When you multiply, you don't, put this in big capital letters, when you multiply, you don't have to line up the decimals. That's adding and subtracting. People get that mixed up all the time. Okay. When you multiply decimals, you don't line them up. Sometimes they might line up, but usually not. And number two, the thing to remember when you do multiplying by decimals is that you need to count decimal places. Count decimal places. So let's say I'm back to this problem here. What do I get if I multiply 0.3 times 4? Well, first things first, multiply like usual. 3 times 4 doesn't change. What is 4 times 3? 12. Okay, not my answer yet, but that's the digits in my answer. And then step 2 is you need to count the decimal places, digits in both numbers that are right of the decimal. Count the digits in both numbers that are right of the decimal. Count, this is supposed to say digits. I'll rewrite it here. Digits in both numbers that are right of the decimal. Let's write that down and then we'll talk about it. Count digits in both numbers that are right of the decimal. That means this, children. Let's look at the top numbers. You got 0.3. How many digits are right of the decimal in 0.3? Here's the decimal. How many digits do you see to the right of that? 1, correct? So there's 1 there. Let's change that. This has 1. Where's the decimal in 4? There isn't 1. When there's not 1, where is the decimal? Joseph? It's not underneath the fourth one, because that would make it 0.4. Where's the decimal in 4? Madison? Behind it. You don't see it, it's not there, we don't have to write it. How many digits do you see to the right of that one? 0. So there's a total of 1 digit in both those numbers to the right of the decimal. That's how many digits need to be right of the decimal in your answer. Okay, which means you don't add any digits yet. You just make sure you start. The easiest way to do that is start at the right and go back. Start at the right and go back, however many you need. So I need 1 decimal place here, so I just start at the right, and I put my decimal there because this is my 1 decimal place that has to be in my answer. Because however many decimal places are here, it has to be the decimal place there. 0.3 times 4 is 1.2. 1.2. Now, to show you that that's true, we can do this as a fraction. How do you write 3/10 as a fraction? Joseph?
3 over 10.
Yep, 3 over 10. And I'm multiplying that by 4. How do I write 4 as a fraction? John? 4 over 1. So let's multiply this in fraction form. What do I get? 3 times 4 is 12 over 10, right? And if I change that back to a mixed number, it is 1 and 2/10. 1 and 2/10, which is what I got. Fractions, you'd have to reduce it down to 1/5, but not that. Let's look at some more. Once you practice this a few times, you'll, I think, you get it. So here, 1, let's not do that one yet. How about 3 times 0.6? Three times 0.6. So if I multiply 3 times 0.6, what is 3 times 6? 18. Count my decimal places. This doesn't have any, so I don't have to worry about it. This has 1, so I start on the right side and come back 1 place, and my decimal goes here. 1.8 is my answer. Don't think about lining up decimals because it does not matter. Okay, here's a good case in point here. What is this? 1.4 times 0.7. Okay, you multiply like there's no decimals. 7 times 14 is, 7 times 4 is 28. Carry the 2, 7 times 1 is 7 plus 2, 98. Where is my decimal going to go in my answer? To figure it out, I need to count decimal places. How many digits are right here? 1. How many digits are right there? 1. That's a total of 2. So you start at the right and come back and make sure that there are the same number of decimal places in your answer. My answer is 0.98. Notice my decimals don't line up. They don't have to. Sometimes maybe they will, but they don't have to. That's not what you're thinking. You are just moving them over. There's the same number of decimal places here as there was to the right of the decimal there. How about this one? Let me give you a chance to do this. What is 1.5 times 0.5? 1.5 times 0.5. 1.5 times 0.5. Cassie, what did you come up with? 0.75. Anybody else come up with 0.75? Now let's check. So you did this. Again, you don't have to line up decimals, but in this case, those two did line up. So 5 times 5 is 25. Carry the 2. 5 times 5. I do get 7.5. This has 1 to the right, another 1 to the right. That's a total of 2 to the right. Come back, so there's 2 in your answer to the right. 0.75 is correct. Does that make sense? If you were talking about money, 1.5 is $1.50. 0.5 is 1/2. What's half of $1.50? Isn't that exciting?